Just don't put the hands on your head. All right, you caught me chit-chatting behind the cameras there with my guests on the program. Good afternoon and welcome to Friday's edition of your social media TV program, The Buzz, live on Galaxy Television. On this beautiful Friday afternoon is the 24th of September 2021. My name is Patience, and as always, it is a delight to be here. Of course, you know the usual routine on Fridays. We bring you the very best of what's trending in line with entertainment, especially off of social media. But today we'll be spicing things up a bit. On the first half of the show, we'll be talking about taxes, if I'm allowed to say that, especially as it concerns Lagos State. Of course, you know the whole taxation issue has been in the news currently between states and the federal government on who should collect what, who is entitled to what. But we're going to be discussing about Lagos State Inland Revenue Service. Internal, sorry, where do I keep saying inland? The Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, okay? We're going to be getting some insight on what they're really about. Anyways, welcome to the show, and don't forget the regular entertainment package will be coming up right after this session. Plus, we'll be discussing copyright infringement, everything around that. So it's going to be a very tight program this afternoon. We urge you to take a seat and enjoy the ride with us. All right, let me quickly introduce my guests this afternoon. With pleasure, I welcome to the table today the Assistant Director for the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, Mr. Tola Seriki. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
A pleasure to have you here.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too, sir. I'm happy you're sporting a t-shirt. So let me grill you a little, the way I do with my Friday guests. Usually, I want to know what's up with the weekend. What are you going to be doing this weekend?
Oh, definitely after this program, after work, we paint the town red.
You paint it red. What side of town? Let's be sure it's not where flood will disturb us. You know what I mean? What side of town?
Well, Lagos is noted for water. So any part of Lagos, we are in water. So
all right.
Any part.
Is there any amala joint in all the arrangement for this weekend?
Many of them.
Am I invited?
Oh, definitely.
Thank you very much. All right. You are most welcome to the show. Also from the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, we have a Revenue Manager, Mr. Lanre Lawal. Good afternoon, Mr. Lawal.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
A pleasure to have you here.
It's my pleasure to be here too.
All right. So we are all going in convoy to this on this mission of painting the town red.
Of course, yes.
All right. But first we talk taxation. You're welcome to the show. All right, welcome viewers. Don't forget the numbers on the screen are for you to interact with us as we progress on the program this afternoon. To kickstart the show, let's bring you a quick update on COVID-19. Nigeria has recorded 433 new COVID-19 cases as at yesterday, Thursday, the 23rd of September 2021. And according to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, these new cases are reported from 17 states. The Federal Capital Territory is in the lead today with 191 new COVID-19 cases, followed by Lagos State with 79. Anambra State recorded 63, Rivers 27, Plateau 13, Oyo 10, Delta 9, Ondo 8, Edo 7, Gombe 6, Akwa Ibom 5, Borno 5 as well. Ekiti State recorded 4 new cases, Bayelsa 2, Zamfara 2 as well. Enugu State recorded 1, and lastly, Kano State also recorded 1 new COVID-19 case, bringing the total to 203,514 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. Also, 2 additional deaths were recorded in the last 24 hours, bringing the death figure to 2,668, I beg your pardon, 2,668 deaths from the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. All right, for a while now, Lagos State in particular has been talking about taking the whole COVID-19 sensitization/vaccination to the grassroots, and it looks like that mission has actually started already. Recently, the weekly environmental sanitation exercise was held in the markets of Ibile LCDA in Lagos State in order to curb the spread of the coronavirus ravaging the entire world. While the executive chairman of Ibile LCDA, the person of Honorable Isa Abiola Jibril, was in the market to sensitize the traders in the need to adhere to the rules and regulations of COVID-19. All right, we also talked about Lagos State actually taking the vaccination exercise to the religious centers as well, but it looks like the whole thing has started from the markets. Let's take a very quick minute. Let's go see what happened in the markets in Ibile local government area. We'll be back.
Maybe 70% clean, and the market leaders there and the women, well, through the compliance of the COVID-19, we are trying our bit in the local government. You know, we cannot be here and supervise what is going on in the market. That is why we have the women market and the men market. So who shall be the supervisor of the market there? So, and they are trying their bit, you know, to control an human being is not easy, because you can only do your bit and leave the rest. And we called them last week to sensitize them that, you know, the issue of COVID-19 is still existing, because if they don't do what is needed for the people, the market can be closed by the local government, which nobody will query it. Because what we are doing is for ourselves, not for anybody. Because a market that is not clean, that is the environment where the COVID-19 can just quickly enter and started spreading among our people. So we are trying our bit. And the issue of washing hand basin, we are telling them, and I'm very sure they'll take a proactive action over that.
All right, so that is Lagos State championing the cause to ensure that our market of women, the traders, and even the market environment, you know, remain COVID-free. Let's not forget the pandemic is not over yet. Let's continue to adhere to all of the non-pharmaceutical protocols put in place by the federal government. Wear a face mask when you step out in the public space. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water. Use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer and continue to maintain social distancing. All right, back to the program this afternoon. Like I said, we have people from the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, and they'll be giving us an insight on what Lagos State is doing, you know, in terms of tax filing and also payment of tax in a smooth and stress-free stress-free manner. All right, you're welcome back again, gentlemen, to the show. Now, good afternoon again. So let's talk. Now, the Lagos Internal Revenue Service is the revenue collecting or generating arm of the Lagos State government. And for some time now, issues people have always had, with tax collection has been the fact that mostly only the formal sector is captured within the tax net. So can we know what the technological initiatives, are that your agency, as well as with Lagos State government, has put in place to ensure that, first of all, tax filing and payment of tax is done in a smooth, stress-free manner? And also, what are you doing with regards to the informal sector?
Thank you. Good afternoon. Yes, basically, part of the initiative the agency has taken in making filing of tax seamless is the introduction of e-tax.
E-tax?
E-tax. E-tax has to do with electronic filing, where in the comfort of your office, of your home, as an enterprise, as an organization, you can file your returns without coming to the station or to our head office. So to make it very convenient and seamless, that is for the formal sector. But for the informal sector, yes, because of the nature of the informal sector, you will find out that majority of them are not literate. And the initiative the agency has taken in that regard is to come up with an application which we refer to as Ibile Hub.
Ibile Hub.
Ibile Hub. And the Ibile is taken from the 5 divisions of Lagos State: Ikorodu, Badagry, Ikeja, Lagos, and Epe. So from that 5 divisions, we now say, okay, fine. We now develop an application which we refer to as Ibile Hub, so that the people in the informal sector can seamlessly be brought to the tax net, so that in the convenience of their shops, we are now taking it back to them. They don't need to come to our offices. They don't need to go to banks. We are the one going out to enumerate them, register them, and make so that they can make payments. The concept is this, or the mindset, most of these traders, is that they cannot leave their it is when they are leaving their offices, that is where their customers are coming, when they are leaving their shops. So most times we find out that majority of them are not encouraged to go to the bank or to come to our offices. So the initiative we've done is, okay, fine, take it back to them. So in the comfort of their shops, they would register them. It's a simple biometrics that we have adopted. We enumerate them, their name, their address, telephone number, and simple capturing. They
just the usual basics. Okay.
So, and if they are ready to pay, they pay. The whole transaction takes less than 3 minutes.
Okay.
To consummate.
All right.
So once they pay, they are issued receipts instantly.
At the spot.
At the spot.
Okay.
They are given the receipt.
So more like you're operating like the usual thrift collectors, alajo, that goes to the traders in the market. I understand you are not, but the modus operandi is what I'm talking about. Okay. All right.
And once they pay, they are given the receipt, and within 72 hours, they are issued a tax card.
Wow.
And one of the advantage of this initiative is that they can pay twice, because the paper sellers don't want to
installmental payment,
but twice,
okay.
within a year.
Okay, all right, we'll come back to how you measure what each person within the informal sector actually has to pay. We'll come back to that, but let me bring Mr. Lawal into the conversation now. The Ibile Hub is an application, like you rightly said. Yes. All right, so can you download that on Google Play Store, the usual way we download apps on our mobile? Is it easy to get the app? Also, what's the interface like? You know, is it user-friendly? Let's talk about that.
Presently, good afternoon. Presently, we have not made it possible to be downloaded on the Google Play Store because we understand that majority of the targeted market are not lettered, they are not literate, and we have to ensure that there are extreme security devices inputted into the application in order to forestall some people playing with it. But the way the app works is that our staff go to these market people with the application and get their information, input it on the system there and then on the spot, not for them to operate. Our staff will operate the application.
Okay.
They just interview them and get their information and put it. The only other thing the person being interviewed has to do is just to thumbprint for us to capture that this is you, and we do the capturing of the photograph. That's all.
It's a one-off capturing.
Exactly.
All right. So after that one time, you know, it becomes easier to pay your tax and whatever.
Once you make your payment, it will, by the end of the year when it expires, next year when you are paying, you just go to the bank and pay, or when our staff come to you, you make payment and we will automatically upload it online.
All right. So let me come back to you, Mr. Seriki. You talked earlier about issuing a tax card 72 hours after you get registered. Yeah, is there a processing fee for this tax card? What do you pay? Are there hidden charges? We need to know. Plus, when you have this tax card, is that equivalent to a tax certificate? It is. Okay, so what does that entitle you to as a Lagosian? What benefit comes to you just by possessing this tax card?
Thank you. Yes, the first leg of the question. Once you pay, the minimum threshold is 8,100. And once you pay, there is nothing like processing fee. There is no hidden charge. The 8,000 is the tax, 100 naira is for development levy. Okay. And once you pay, the card is automatic. But the only exception where they will ask you down the line to pay a token fee, peradventure where you misplace the card or you deface the card. Okay. That is the only time you'll be required to pay a token just to renew or to reproduce the card. That is all.
Okay. So what are the benefits?
Okay, the benefits are these. One, like I mentioned, you have the window to pay twice. That's number one. Number two is the opportunity. If, for example, you have children or wards that want to enter public schools, is a condition they will require before the child is registered. So it's automatic. Once the child is qualified, they will ask for your tax card, and once it is produced, it's automatic. Okay. Then part of the other benefits are these. For example, people in the informal sector. The Lagos State government, through the Ministry of Wealth Creation, is doing a lot to empower and to encourage them. For example, those in the informal sector, the artisans, they have the window to access loans through Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. So these loans are given to them at very low interest rates, at least to encourage them in their businesses. Then secondly, the Ministry of Wealth Creation organizes training every year, and they even empower most of these artisans every year. And they organize seminars and so on. And even the Ministry of Wealth Creation every year organizes artisans days, so that where they bring all of them together and they interact. What are their challenges? Where do the government wants them to, where they want government to intervene and assist. So these are the benefits that are embedded.
Okay, so if I got you correctly, if you own a tax card in Lagos, getting your children enrolled in public schools, will be easy. Also, access to low interest loans for you to do your business. Also, maybe opportunities to get trained in line with your business, skills acquisition, stuff like that. Plus, you can also interact with people in authority to actually make your complaints known. All right, so that's fantastic. So, can I ask Mr. Lawal what the response has been like so far? How long has this whole Ibile Hub thing been in existence, and how have the people been reacting?
Ibile Hub is the new baby of the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service. Before we rolled out this Ibile Hub, we have gone all over the state to engage the stakeholders, the market executives, artisans executives, all of them have their input. And when we now, we have done a lot of sensitization and enlightenment and meetings to have their buy-in. So as soon as we rolled out this Ibile Hub, it's going to be a year by October 5. We rolled it out October 5 last year, and because of the COVID, we had to step it down a bit, then reactivated it. So we already have their buy-in. So as soon as we now commence this program and we went back to them, they are now the one doing the advocacy for us to enlighten their members as to the need for tax payment and as to the convenience for them not to leave their shops or wares to go to the tax offices or to go to the bank to make payment. Is on the spot that everything will be done and attended to. And the response has been very impressive. They are even delighted that, this is the good thing that has come to them.
Okay, all right. So we carry the viewers along, and also for purposes of clarity, can you quickly just maybe mention a few of those people we're actually referring to who are captured in the informal sector?
The market traders.
Traders in the market.
Traders in the market. Artisans engage in all kinds of
vulcanizer, tailor, mechanics. Okay, yeah.
Then
all right, so break it down. Barbers,
welders,
fantastic.
bricklayers, and the game changing about this Ibile Hub is that we realize that majority of these people are highly mobile, and it is not easy to locate them or pin them to a spot. So once we get them registered, we have their details, we can communicate to them through their phones.
So even if they change location, you chase them down. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so, but as a tax-paying citizen myself, I do know that from time to time people have issues with taxes, unanswered questions, complaints, and even clarity on some things. So how easy is it for people to actually, be able to communicate with you their challenges, and how quickly do you resolve them?
Okay, thank you. First of all, like I explained to you, our staff are at every nooks and crannies of the states. On the spot, issues can be attended to by our staff. But where they cannot resolve it, they escalate to the office. And within 24 hours, the issues will be resolved.
24 hours?
Within 24 hours, it must be resolved. However, issues that are beyond resolution within that period, we have a call center number. Okay.
Okay, is it a toll-free line?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, all right. Do you want to give out the line?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
7000 22 55 5477.
Again, sir.
0700 22 55 5477.
Okay, all right.
And aside from that, we have email address that they can also take advantage of. info@lirs.gov.ng.
Okay, all right. So as fantastic and as beautiful a picture we've painted this afternoon, I don't know that the Lagos State government doesn't smile with defaulters. So what do you do to defaulters? People who blatantly refuse to pay their tax. What are the penalties?
Yes, as much as there are penalties, maybe ranging from interest and penalties that we charge to enforcement. However, the agency is not particularly in focusing on that direction. Yeah, because we are trying to develop a culture where tax payment is imbibed by everybody in the state. So what we are doing more is educating taxpayers, enlightening, sensitizing, engagement and collaboration. So that at any given time, on their own, they can come up to pay their taxes. Yeah, because it will not benefit the state or the agency. If, for example, with this initiative we've introduced now, we now go to the market to carry their wares, they are not going to be in business. How will they pay?
Exactly.
So the initiative is basically to encourage compliance, voluntary compliance. However, where it gets to the extreme, we apply the other end.
I understand, but I like the fact that at least you're not coming from the punitive, point of view. All right, so just encouraging people to buy into the whole thing.
We're employing moral suasion now to convince them to perform their civic obligation, which is tax payment.
All right, very quickly before we go, Mr. Lawal, how many offices? I mean, Mr. Seriki mentioned 5 local governments.
No, 5 divisions.
Divisions, yes, I know there were 5 in Lagos. But then, how many tax offices do you actually have?
We have 44 many tax offices
in Lagos.
In Lagos, even some of these tax offices are located in the market. Some of the major markets in Lagos, and we're planning on opening more so that we can easily reach out to these taxpayers for their convenience.
I like that. All right, so because of time, very quickly, do you have a last quick words of encouragement or assurances to your taxpayers out there?
Okay, thank you. Basically, what we are encouraging people living in Lagos, and living in Lagos, is to contribute their own quota to the development of the state. Yeah, the current administration has a very robust agenda, the team's agenda, and all these things require funding, and the funding has to come from IGR. So the advocacy is to encourage each and everybody to contribute so that we can all take Lagos to the next level.
Okay, all right, interesting. I wish we had more time to talk, but maybe another time this can happen. Thank you so very much for coming on the show this afternoon. Thank you, sir. Our guest on the program today has been Mr. Tola Seriki. He's the Assistant Director for the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, and also we had Mr. Lanre Lawal, who is also a revenue manager. Thank you so much for coming and for the enlightenment. All right, so we can only but commend the Lagos State government for looking for innovative ways to carry every citizen or resident of Lagos State along while we're talking about this whole tax thing. For a lot of people, the issue surrounding tax, is always too complicated, so they don't want to get involved. But with the Ibile hub, is paying your tax smoothly, stress-free, right at your doorstep. So come on, why won't you pay your tax? It is your social responsibility. Thank you again, gentlemen, for coming on the show.